So Andy said it wasn't me. Fred saw it was my uncle. I had watching out for Jackie driving down Ben Hill the whole day, hyper vigilant. So he had supposedly. So he told you that he had his uncle driving up and down the road watching for freaking Jackie Dobbs. That's interesting, because if that were true, why hasn't he said that? Why wouldn't he have told everybody that? You know what I mean? Why does there seem to be all these different stories?
Damn, killer. It's so good.
What's up, everybody? Y'all know how Killer get down. He don't like to keep y'all long in class. This Killer, welcome to the Killer List channel. Thanks for joining me in rellikskool with ground and pound from David. Killer recently had a request to go over a certain subject in the Summer Wells case. Uncle Blue Eyes, and who or what that means to Killer. Anything you hear Killer ever speak about is theory and speculation. Killer pays attention to what people in cases say and do. And Killer does his own research to make his own connections and take a look at things. There was a time when Green Eyes had mentioned of Andy's uncle. Killer later heard Jodie talk about his uncle too, and recently heard Andy speak about going to his uncle's house on Ben Hill. And that's what he was doing on June 14th when he said he was in the holler, messing with Jackie Dobbs. Killer doesn't think Andy had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. However, Killer do think Andy may have heard or saw some things in the rumblings. But that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that man actually saw the things he said.
I had her crying in tears. I mean, just like in a ball, because for like fucking 5 minutes she just wouldn't lay off. And it was Summer's dead body's laying there, and who gives a fuck about it, and this and blah blah, and she's dead. I mean, right, I mean, just the grossest.
Man, the Killer believes there's some truth in every little lie, including what Jodie said. Uncle Blue Eyes to me might very well be Andy's uncle. Again, this is only Killer's opinion. Let me explain why I think this. Let's start from the beginning. Before Summer Wells was reported missing, days, weeks, maybe even months before Summer vanished, Jodie, Summer's neighbor, was talking crazy about her mother-in-law. At the time, selling a piece of that land they lived on. On these Facebook Lives in which content creators screen recorded later on after Summer, because it just seemed so odd and close to the time of the vanished.
$7,000 to try to build a $500,000 house on that piece that I hope falls off the goddamn bank. I hope her greed eats her and everybody else. Had she taken my offer, which was stupid enough to move into fucking Beach Creek in somebody else's fucking yard, because they know they can die. Somebody needs to maybe whisper that for the first time in history of Beach Creek, people are tired of out of fucking stairs.
When Jackie Dobbs, who bought the land Jodie was tripping about, arrived on June 14, 2021 to check it out, all hell broke loose in the holler that day. Dobbs spoke about Andy and his crew charging him up. Said there was a big commotion on a party on 110 Ben Hill, and also spoke about Don looked like he was extremely down. A man with a million-mile stare, he said. Dobbs claims he was ran off the property and was in fear for his well-being. So much so he has yet to return to the land bought and still owned.
About 15 minutes later, here comes Jodie and Andy Sue just raising sand. Andy and Jodie Sue are raising hell on me. I could tell I wasn't too much welcome there.
Months went by and Dives gets his own YouTube channel. He starts releasing all these videos about his dog. And also these stray dogs he called Green Eyes and Blue Eyes. Killer thought he was saying blue eyes, as in eyes, like green eyes but blue eyes. So the dog did have green and blue eyes.
Or I'll call him Green Eyes. He's a okay fella. Come here, Elvis. Hey, Green Eyes, Blue Eyes, whatever you are.
So as if this shit wasn't confusing enough, later Killer found out through video titles and other hints he was indeed saying blue ice. Ices in frozen water. Dives would make videos sitting in his garage and strumming his guitar. He tell stories how these dogs who again he named Green Eyes and Blue Eyes, they were good old boys who often got in trouble. He wrote a song, took pictures of the lyrics with cryptic misspellings and messages that seemed to be about the whales. Killer thought he was tripping. Killer thought he was going crazy until Dives released a random video with a not so secret message that was undeniable.
I am spooked! This fool said murderer!
Dives was absolutely trying to tell us something, in my own opinion. His words send chills down Killer's spine still to this day. It was said that Dives was cleared, although Killer cannot confirm that information. But it's obvious to me that Dives seemed shook, scared to talk. Killer started piecing together all the stones and stories he threw and clues he laid. Trickled one by one. He just seemed to leave them behind, y'all. Wow, y'all. The clues started telling Killer a story. So naturally, Killer started connecting the dots when dealing with Dives. Where did Andy go first? His uncle's?
I was down there on the 14th dealing with Jackie, and I went up to the uncle's house.
Who confronted Dobbs and scared him so bad? Andy and his uncle?
It about Dobbs is when my uncle came in and talked to him when he came in that evening. What was that vehicle when my uncle John seen him?
Where did Jodie complain Andy went for his hard drugs? His uncle's?
Like, do you care to explain why you were at John's today? Because you didn't have a grant, and so there's only one other reason, and it's called dope.
The killer thought, who the fuck is this uncle and why Dobbs keep hitting Blue Eyes? Killer did a little research. Found an uncle who lived between Fred's mama and David Bays. David Bays. On Tennessee Property Bureau, a public website, this uncle's name resembles John Henry. Killer won't mention the last name, but if you remember in folklore, John Henry was a mighty man, born with a hammer in his hand. And it struck me, Jackie Dodd made a video one time about a hammer and posted it for sale. It was Cryptic and odd. Once again, it also tied to the song Jackie wrote later on. Killer heard about Don talking to a man named Hammer in jail, and this man made threats out to Jodie. Who else was threatening Jodie? Green Eyes. And it all started coming together. Green Eye made claims about Andy's uncle. Said he was known for and as Blue Eyes, which is a form of pure hard drugs.
Green Eyes.
Green Eyes. There he is. Remember when people said Don was home earlier, 3:30ish? It's Andy's uncle that was saying he was. But they won't identify the uncle who can be the suspect.
And it all started coming together. Killer remembered Jodie talking about Andy going to his uncle to do said drugs and cheat on Jodie with his now wife.
Like, do you care to explain why you were at John's today? Because you didn't have a grant, and so there's only one other reason, and it's called dope. He goes, didn't go. I call bullshit. You knew better. And make no mistake, he was banging stall there as well. It's right across the road. But anyway, yeah. There was some funky shit up.
Killer also remembers Candace saying there was a blue van parked at the bottom of the driveway, and everyone assumed it was Jackie's dark blue blazer.
Who was there when you got home?
There was nobody there. There was my mom mentioned the blue van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Auto was a four-wheel drive, like Ford Escape or a Bronco or something.
It looked like a blue minivan to me, but I don't know.
Small blue minivan?
That's what it looked like to me.
Come to find out, Andy's uncle owned a Tacoma and a van. Shit just gets crazy. The uncle also owned, or used to own, a gun shop. Killer remembers rumors of explosives, of gunpowder. It always flooded the YouTube streets, the underground, where we run. Although Killer can't remember why. And that's why I'm here today asking y'all help. I dropped that processed data y'all got on it and Killer's comment. The Dot's too scared of the Andy clan that he was releasing cryptic messages trying to get the word out about what he saw that day. Was he telling these stories, crying out the green eyes and looking the blue ice?
So that's what. So you're saying Fred saw Andy's B's car, but John was driving it. Fred, what do you think about that theory? I don't know though, because those pictures, they showed him they have surveillance though. So Andy's claimed to you that it was John driving. So he had supposedly, so he told you that he had his uncle driving up and down the road watching for freaking Jackie Dobbs. He had to work, so what did he drive to work then? John had his own car. And he has a van. John drives a van.
Hey, you trying to tell me that it's a man in a blue van patrolling the area of Beach Creek and Ben Hill looking for Jackie Dobbs, and some kind of way he misses what happens to the little girl?
This could all be considered conspiracy. And the other half of the coin could all be considered very real. And you decide. Let me know down below. Time to go to work. Clock in, clock in. One time. Love y'all.
formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.